I talk about the reason why I help people. The main reason I help people is because I remember as a child many bad things happening to me and being often called thick and stupid and told I was an idiot and that I didn't understand this or because I didn't understand this or I didn't know so. And even school teachers did. They saw me as really dumb. They really, really did. And it was hard to deal with because I was constantly got for probably 20, 25 years. And then when I got 18, 16, got girlfriends, they were always saying the same thing. And it was like a long, ongoing, flowing thing about how stupid I was. And when I was at Kinlease one day in the smoker room with my best friend and other friends, other workmates, and we were talking. I had a problem, and I thought, well, I'll ask. So I asked them all because a lot of them were older than me. I was probably 18 at the time. And my friend turned around and started roaring with hysterics and said, you're thick. And I stared at him and I thought, why? And then he explained what was wrong. The point, it was to do with cars. The point is what no one understood at that time is all their fathers helped them learn about mechanics and cars. Mine didn't. Um, and so therefore, everything I've learned about mechanics and cars, and in the end, I fixed my own cars. Change the gaskets and pull the motors apart and things like that, and change the gearboxes and all that, put in the clutches and took them out, and all the car electronics as well. All that stuff I did. I'm a bit sweaty because I just had a bike ride, and all the things I did. What he said. When he was running me down, it popped him. I was highly ashamed of myself and started once again thinking I was really thick. But then he turned around. Then I turned around and thought about it. Probably when I got home, I thought about it and I thought about um, the thing I didn't know. I didn't know because no one had showed me, and that I was learning these things on my own. So therefore, how would I know? When my oldest daughter was here and she was going to high school, I told her I'd mentioned that I'd failed my exams in high school at fifth form uh, when I was 15, and she told me I was an idiot. She said, "Oh my gosh, you fuck! You couldn't even do your arms." Did 1 year at high school at Forest View and came out with a trophy and a whole lot of awards. What she didn't tell them was that it was my homeschooling from the age of 9 to 15 that gave her the ability to win those awards. I got completely ignored in the whole process. My ex wife was greatly honoured. My daughter was greatly honoured, and the school said if she hadn't have been there for that year, she never would have gotten them. Right. When she told me she said I was fake. I walked out. I was in the garage working in the garage, and I walked out of the garage and I started crying, and tears started pouring down. And I just thought everyone, even my own kids, think I'm an idiot, meaning just her. And she'd become very proud from being at high school and doing so well. And I was just sitting there crying, and then it popped into my head about at fifth form all the things that were wrong. From at the second year of intermediate school, I was supposed to get glasses. They tested my eyes for colour blindness and for the sight, and they said this guy needs glasses, this kid needs glasses. Sent a home note to my note home to my mother, and she just laughed and said, "No way." She said, "Costs too much. Don't worry about it. You're not getting them." And so I went through the whole of high school not being able to see the board. I had to, the teachers like to have back in those days the smart kids at the front and the idiots at the back. So they wouldn't let me at the front because I was one of the idiots. And the ones who don't want to learn or are too thick to learn. So I had to squint. I was always getting like this because if you squint, you can actually make out the words. And I used to come into school with huge headaches because they'd write on the board. And, and then I had to copy it out in my box. We had a science teacher in fifth form through the whole entire year. We did no experiments. He'd write on a huge board, and we'd walk in the class, and he'd turn around and say, copy that and go home and learn it. And that was it. That was his whole teaching. You could get away with that sort of stuff then. I'm not sure about now. So, and then I remembered Mum. We lived in Victoria Place in a flat, and Mum had left Dad by that stage, and Mum had was going out with all these gay guys, and I was sleeping on the couch because there was no room for me in the bedrooms because I had 6 sisters, and Mum was always bringing the gay guys home, and they'd sit there for hours going on how they wanted to have sex with me and they wanted to do things to me, and Mum loved it. Mum was always trying to say I was gay, and Mum really liked these gay guys, and they were real brutes, big black fellas, and they were absolutely terrifying for a 15-year-old boy. And they would sit there at the table drinking with Mum, telling me the things they were going to do to me the moment I fell asleep. So if they stayed till 2 or 3 in the morning, I had to sit on the couch and stay awake till 2 or 3 in the morning because I was so scared. And there was no shed to sleep, and there was a tiny wee shed on the side of the carport, and that was it. So I remembered those 2 things. Then I remembered Mum and Dad's breakup. I remembered my sister urinating on my school box. I can't remember what year that was. And I think it was 4th form. And she totally destroyed all my school textbooks and all my school written books. And I had to start again. It was probably like towards the end of the year. I had no notes. I had nothing. So when the exams came, I had nothing to go by, whereas everyone else did. And so I'm not saying feel sorry for me. I'm just saying I realized when my daughter was going on how she was privileged. I'd done everything. I'd gone without food so that she could go to the ball and have, we could buy her a ball dress. I went without healthcare, everything that year, because taking a kid to high school, forestry high school, was so expensive. And so I thought it was an honour to go without for my daughter, to give her a chance to have the education she wanted, because I knew she was only going to do high school once. So I thought that was the honourable thing to do. What I didn't realise was at the end of the year, after she'd gotten everything, she thought I was a total idiot and she was far superior to me and a far better person. And so that was really hard to deal with. But because she did that, it opened my mind up, and I realized that I was actually disadvantaged. And I'm not making excuses, but years later, I learned trigonometry, algebra easily, very easily, electronics. I taught myself how to write computer software and sell it and give tutorials and sell the tutorials over the internet internationally. So I'm not that thick. It's just that I wasn't given the chance. I wasn't taught the stuff that people were laughing at me about. And the more people slap you on the head and keep telling you you're an idiot, the more you believe it, the more people will start telling you intelligent stuff, but you won't take it on. I know there must be many times where there was stuff I could have learned, and I'd just say, no, you're an idiot, James. You're not going to get this. Just forget it. And so that's how I felt. I absolutely hated myself with a vengeance. Before I found God, I figured there was just no hope for such an idiot as me. And when I found God, I had the chance to change, to learn, and to grow, and to believe I had a purpose in life. And when I realized I had a purpose, I realized I had a goal. God had a goal for me. And therefore, I became stronger physically, mentally, and spiritually. And therefore, my courage grew in leaps and bounds. And that helped me get out of depression and anxiety and the like. So the reason I help people, and especially children and especially teenagers, is because that's why I put the website up, because the character assassination has these organizations I could have volunteered to do, but because the character assassination was so deep, there's so many people that don't trust me. Or when they do trust me, and I know this from women I've met who I've gotten really well with, I talk to them for a couple of weeks, especially in schools, and then get on really well with them, and then they turn and start snobbing me. And I'd find out later it's because they'd been told the rumours. So I put up the website so that I can help educate people and give them it's also why I homeschooled, give my children to teach them what I didn't know, so that even if they did become arrogant like that, prideful, then and look down on me, at least they had a better chance at life than I did. And so the whole thing was about not wanting people to have a better shot at life, wanting them to have a go first, or to learn the things I didn't learn, and to learn history, and to learn about things like this, like products, and then those products are out there, and so whenever I buy something, I tell them about it, and I put it up and write a review, so that people can look at it and say, "Oh, well, I didn't even know that existed." Like I bought something yesterday, I had no idea existed, and so it's kind of cool, and it's good for me because it means you get to leave a mark before I pass away, and I'm doing something to help people, and I'm passing on. I had what I know. I had a friend who was dying of cancer, and I said to him, he's about 3 years younger than me, and I said to him, I said, "Can you write down all the lessons in your life experiences and put them on the internet, or put them on your computer, or you can put them on the internet and stuff like that to help other people out, and your life can be worth something to other people?" He said he'd think about it, but he never did it. So he passed away about 2 years ago, and no one knows about him. No one knows about his life experiences, the things he could share, and stuff like that. So, yeah, it just tells me that I don't want to be like that. I want to be that person who shares. It doesn't matter if people here in Tokoroa at my time hate me, because sometime in the future when I pass away, as always, it seems to happen, people say, "Hey, did you read this guy's stuff?" And the character assassination will be all forgotten by then, and people will say, "Yeah, that's really good stuff," and then people will read it, and the other website I put up about life and about Genesis it was to say that we can start again. We can wipe out what we've done to the world now and ruin the world, and we can change the world and make the world a better place. So that's the goal there. The goal there is to make the world a better place, and to do my little bit to help. And as I said the other day, if you have opinions, it makes waves, it upsets people, but that's them. That's their problem. If I don't say anything, no one knows. And so, and I got my children into things that the school system currently doesn't do, like the writings of Tennyson, Emerson, Charles Dickens, and the like. And then we would go through all sorts of crazy history stuff, and I absolutely loved it. Like when we did knights, we made swords and stuff out of wood, and then we practiced sword fighting, and then we had staff fighting, and then we did all sorts of other stuff. And we tried to take everything we wrote and made it practical. Now in their lives, they were Tracy and Rachel both live on farms, and they're able to put that into practice. You see what I mean? And I also taught all of them how to do cars, sewing, and including Jimmy, and so that they would learn how to use those in real life. And if they had an option of using a sewing machine and not using a sewing machine, they'd find that, as I found, having one is very handy and very helpful. And so it's like giving them an idea of everything that's available. If they don't ever want to sew during their life, they don't have to. But the point is it's letting them know that it's there. And then no one will call them an idiot. And no one will say they're a fool or a twat or the stupidest person they've ever met. All of those things have been said about me. And it hurt. And it made me withdraw deeper and deeper within myself, so that I got too scared to learn. I got too scared to stand there. I got too scared to go into the crowds. I got too scared to... I got to the stage when anyone complimented me, I shy away, terrified. Because normally in the past when someone complimented, they were either after something or they were going to make a joke about it. "Oh, James, you're brilliant." Ha ha, joke. And stuff like that. So I just want to make a difference. And people can watch this video and laugh. It's fine. It's not what people think of James Martin Sandberg that counts. It's not about me. I'm not important. But if I can put stuff up there that some young person will look at and it'll help them understand a word or a device or a meaning of something. It'll help them fix something, make something, give them ideas. That's, to me, that's treasure. I at least help someone get ahead someday at a particular time. And young mothers, I'm brought up my children on my own, so I know how to do that sort of stuff to help women as well. So that's why I help people. I don't help people for me. I don't charge a cent for anything I do. Everything's free, and that's why I help people. Thanks for watching.